Farm Museum in Fort Langley. We run 100% on volunteers. This is our machine shop. Not our machine shop, our mechanical shop. We bring in stuff that are donated, we fix it up, clean it up, put it on display. Couple good workers here. These are some of the old tractors we've had donated. We're fixing them up. We don't run, we get them to run. We make them look as pretty as possible. And then put them on display.
That is just sitting up here, but this is here, so it's not here.
That's where we'll go back.
Couple more volunteers. This is our lunchroom. BC Farm Museum guys come here for lunch, coffee break, tell a few stories, and some of them are even true. Woodworking shop at the BC Farm Museum. A couple busy volunteers now. We've got lots of equipment, and now we safely withdraw the sawdust out of here, so it's not so hard to breathe. So we're looking more at safety these days, and it's a pretty productive shop when we're working in here. So we grip the cable and pull it up 16 inches, then it would open up and go down.
Okay.
If I use this, I do turn off the function.
Yeah.
But
Okay, here we are sawing some boards up. These boards are not good for rebuilding anything, so we use them in our wood stove. That keeps us warm in the winter time. There's no gas here, so we heat by electricity and a wood stove. Okay, go. Okay, we've got storage in the main, actually the second building. This is the one across the alley from the first building. This is called the Queen Building. It's on Queen Street. You'll see up above we've got lots of carriages, lots of equipment, plows, and down below we've got some vehicles and some engines. We've got tractors. Okay, here we've got some tractors. We've got a lot of tractors. We've got probably 50 tractors and a lot of implements. Currently, right now, we are restoring an old Massey International Combine, and they've just got the engine running on it now. You can see 2 volunteers working on that engine. Okay, we still have a lot of tractors in here. Like I said before, we've got 50 tractors. The volunteers have lots to work on. Some of them are running, most of them are running, and a few are just not salvageable. But you'll see them in the parade in May. And there's a lot of work goes into these machines, and it kind of turns out pretty good. Up above in the mezzanine level, you'll see a lot of older equipment that was used for haying, some gardening equipment, and cultivating equipment, miscellaneous. Smith shop, we have 2 volunteers and one that dabbles at it. 2 of our volunteers are pretty good at running the blacksmith equipment, the forge, the bellows, and we also have an exhaust right above it. And if you come here on an event day, we take pieces of rod and whatnot and make them into hangers or whatever, so you may just get lucky and end up with a souvenir. There. Okay, this last summer, 2017, we had 10 local artists do some murals, and you can see their handiwork. It turned out excellent. And right now we are deciding to add 4 more panels, in other words 16 feet worth, and we're going from the left, it starts in the old days, to the right it'll end up being modern day. The volunteer down below did a lot of the work putting the murals up, and he's got his scaffolds all set up for the next phase. It's in the winter time and there's no public in here, so it's a good time to get this type of work done. What you're seeing now is a video display projected onto the wall, and these are scenes of us doing some work and also of old pieces of vintage videos that we've acquired over the years. This particular one that we're watching right now is us with our equipment at McInnes Farm, and we're doing some threshing.
The airplane.
The airplane it's a Skyway Tiger Moth, left over from the Second World War, and it's been converted into a crop sprayer. And it ran from 1947 to 1953. They used it, and the company now no longer does it. But it's called Skyway. That's the company that did the crop spraying back in the day. And they donated it to us, and it's probably one of the first things here because it had to be hung from the ceiling before all the walls were put up. What you're looking at now is the Horseman's Hall of Fame. It's the BC Heavy Horse Association, which are part of the BC Farm Museum. And you'll see pictures, you'll see saddles, you'll see harnesses, and you'll see a lot of really good workmanship on some of the stuff that we've restored here at the BC Farm Museum. You're working on something. Okay, upstairs on the mezzanine in the King Street building, which is the front building, the one that you'll walk into, is various domestic objects, mostly artifacts that were saved, and we preserved some of them. And you will see washing machines, you'll see poultry. Horse. This is more of the horse area here. You'll see dairy, and you'll see chickens and tools. Beekeeping equipment right here, and more of the dairy and tools. And I'm sorry, it's too dark to get into this other area. Our volunteers work on this equipment, and sometimes we get quite a bit of stuff, so we're pretty proud of the way it's turned out.
And just about enough light to run the tools.
Okay. Yeah, the tools have been categorized, and it's interesting to see what they used to use back in the day on the farms, and sometimes around the city lots, and that when people were building houses here. The tools come from all over the place. A lot of it's local, and a lot of it comes from out of province even, and even out of country. Got some light.
Let there be light.
Yeah, this mural depicts a barn raising where all the neighbors get together and build a barn, and when they're done, someone gets a new barn. But when someone young comes along and needs a barn, that's what they used to do. They all used to get together. The men did all the work, and the women did all the cooking and arranging, and it all happened. Here's another example of the murals that we had installed this last summer. The volunteers cut my voice.
Still doing the murals, yes.
Can you do? We have to.
Various local artists these were done by.
Yeah, various local artists did these paintings for us. We had them installed on June 17th, 2017, and our
This is the long mural that they're and doing some work on the far end. There's Herb up on the. Okay, go.
hard at work. The directors, board of directors have their meetings in here, as well as this is a multi-purpose room. It's used for library. It stores a lot of our documents, old artifacts, information, and the volunteers help out here. We have a librarian who's very efficient at her work. Didn't end good. This is our office. This is where you'll first meet us at the museum in the summertime. We collect an admission, And we also have 2 people on minimum, so one can walk you around and show you some of the museum. Right now, we've got 3 hard workers in here. We've got our treasurer writing out checks, trying to receive some money. we got a coffee machine.